Greetings and hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Fawn Rhodes, and I want to talk to you today. But before I tell you what my subject is, I just want to give you a little history and talk to you about my upbringing. Hopefully, that'll lead you into determining or figuring out what we're going to talk about. So, as I was coming up, I was raised in a very religious background or household. In that household, one of the things that I was not allowed to do was a lot of physical activity. Some of the reasons why was just the clothing, and young ladies were supposed to be seen and not heard, and a lot of the things that we have heard through the years. So when it came to certain physical activities, it was just more or less. It wasn't looked down upon to have exercise, but it was the type of exercise that we were not allowed to do. As I progressed and I went into junior high school, what some people call as middle school, there were certain things I was not allowed to do: basketball, volleyball, um, anything that would possibly like had a lot of my arms and legs out and things like that. I wasn't able to do. I was able to be the scorekeeper for the volleyball team, though. And so, as time went on, certain things changed within the side of my household. Things became a lot less religious, and I went into high school. When I got to high school, I was in an aerobics class, and in the aerobics class, I was not well received because of my height and size. I am 5 feet 11, and I'm 250 pounds plus, somewhere around there. And I've always been tall. I've been 5 feet 11 since I've been in seventh grade. So just imagine that, right? So dealing with being tall and thicker or bigger than some of the other young ladies has something I've always had to deal with in my life. So I took aerobics as one of my chosen activities, physical activities. At that time, things were a lot more relaxed in my household, so I was able to take aerobics. But within my aerobics class, I had a teacher that was a little aggressive in how she chose to handle youth. And a lot of people that work for a lot of students, for me, not so much. I did not take to the way that she chose to teach very well. It was definitely a shock for me, and so it turned me off from activity or physical activity altogether. I just completely said, forget it. I don't want to be bothered with it. I didn't like being shamed if I didn't dress out. And I want to also keep in mind that my mother passed away when I was 11 years old. So a lot of my a lot of my introduction to womanhood was from some older women, my grandmothers. So I didn't have the typical conversations about young ladies and what we should be doing and how to present ourselves, and just young ladies in general. So with that understanding, when I went into my aerobics class, I wasn't comfortable with certain outfits, aerobics outfits. I wasn't comfortable with leotards and dressing out in front of other ladies and things that were a part of the curriculum that I was not adjusting very well to. So exercise became something that I just had became a full stop block on. That was it. I was in shape, but I was slender, but I wasn't in shape. That's a better way of saying that. As life would have it, I would continue to grow, and I would have life experiences. I dealt with and fought with depression for a while, and I gained a lot of weight. There was a time in my life I gained a whole lot of weight, and I ultimately ended up having bariatric surgery. 2000 bariatric surgery is weight loss surgery. I had that in 2003. And with that understanding, that's when I really understood the the importance of exercise. And because I did not have a great relationship with exercise and I did not enjoy exercise, one of the things that I was able to gravitate to that I did enjoy was walking. Walking was my way of peace. It is was my outlet. It was easy enough for me to transition into, and at the same time I didn't feel like I was overexerting myself. I didn't feel like I was doing a physical activity that was challenging challenging my way of thinking. However, what you get out of something, what you put into something, you get out of. So my walking was just more casual that I would do, not anything with intentionality in terms of physical activity. As I've grown and as I've gone along this journey, I've realized that walking is a strong benefit. It's a huge benefit to our heart, to our legs, our core, our mind, our body, our spirit. And so, with that understanding, I would like to talk to you today about the benefits of walking at least 30 minutes a day. Studies have shown that when you walk at least 30 minutes a day, it can increase your metabolic heart rate, which helps weight loss. It can increase your lung breath control, and it assists with strengthening your overall body. I will also speak to the items you will need to begin an effective walking regime. Lastly, I will share tips to remain successful on your walking journey. As I have learned in my life, the struggle for weight loss, the struggle for physical activity, the struggle for just being in great health is real. I personally don't have any health challenges, but I do have an issue with being overweight, which is, it can get to a health challenge if I don't manage my weight. So I make a point to try to walk at least on minimum of 30 minutes a day. How do I make this happen for myself? Well, one of the things that I do is, first of all, when it comes to walking, what I've learned is, as I stated, studies have shown 30 minutes of consistent walking lowers blood pressure, it lowers your stress, and it increases a more restful sleep. Oftentimes, I find that in terms of my sleep, I wasn't haven't slept well. And a lot of stress that I've been experiencing is because I have not got out and just got some vitamin D for the day, or just out of my house and just went to the gym to go walking. Many times people complain about hip and back pain. And as a possible remedy to this, I always recommend walking. Walking can help loosen those joints. It can help get fluid going to those areas that you're having a lot more difficulties in. It also strengthens the abdominal core, which affect the muscles within your abdomen, your back, your hips, your neck, and your stomach. And for women, this also can help strengthen your pelvic floor. A lot of women deal with incontinence, which is a subject that some don't talk about. Yet, like I said, it can also help help you with issues in terms of your monthly cycle if you have a strong pelvic floor. So the benefits for it is very strong. So that's one of the reasons why you would like to also consider walking. Also, with walking, it's the safest form of exercise due to its low impact on the back, hips, knees, ankles, and feet, which are the areas injured most in other types of exercise. Many times, when you are dealing with some of your more strenuous exercises, I believe our professor, Dr. Robinson himself, has explained that he's had two back injuries, and he does powerlifting. So some of the other exercises can be a little more strenuous for you, and they can cause injury if you are doing those incorrectly. Not to say that walking cannot, but walking is one of the most safe types of exercises that you can experience. The only way I can see you really causing yourself injury is if you step into, maybe a hole or a hill, or kind of come down on your foot the wrong way when you're coming off a curb or coming off a treadmill or something to that extent. So it's in what you're doing not necessarily saying the activity itself is what caused you to be hurt. I hope that makes sense in how I explain that. Also, walking can assist you in strengthening your lungs. Deeper breaths have proven to lower stress, calm the mind, and increase stamina. Learning controlled methods of breathing assist the persons when they are walking longer distance. One of my goals in walking is learning how to be able to have a full conversation and walk at the same time. Right now, I'm not at that space. I can kind of talk to you here and there, but I'm focused on trying to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth, all throughout that activity. The better you get with that, the easier it is to walk and have a conversation, or exercise and have a combination, a exercise and have a conversation. And it, like I said, it strengthens your lungs, and it just does other added benefits to your breathing. Breathing has been proven to help with weight loss, believe it or not. So, how you breathe and learning the most effective way to breathe. I know we naturally breathe. That's just comes by second nature. The moment that you come into this world, you're tapped on the behind to make sure that you can breathe and get the mucus plugs out of your nose. However, no one really tells us how to effectively breathe, the best way to breathe, so we can get as much oxygen into our body and less toxins out of our body when we breathe. So it's important to also learn how to breathe when we are doing exercises or just everyday life. In terms of what are some of the items that you need to begin an effective walking program, I would encourage you, get the most comfortable shoe that your pocket can afford. You don't have to get something that's go out and go get specifically fitted for any type of sneaker unless you so choose to. You can do that. But get the most affordable shoe and comfortable shoe that's going to help you on your journey. You don't want to wear flip flops, sandals. You don't want to wear, I wouldn't be wearing Tim's. Maybe not wear your famous J's, but heels, stilettos, and I know I'm making light, but I'm really being serious. You want to wear something as comfortable, the most comfortable type of athletic shoe that you can put on when it comes to you exercising. Shoes, study have shown when shoes are too tight, they can restrict your blood flow, and they can also cause issues, podiatry issues when you are walking. And keep in mind, the best time of day to go get your foot measured is in the evening. Because excuse me, during the day. First time, go first thing in the morning, because if you go in the evening, your feet have swollen from everything that you do in the evening. So you want your shoe to properly fit. So get it fitted before all the fluid and everything that's happened throughout the remainder of your body. So go in the morning before you've really gotten a lot of your activity done, not necessarily in the evening when your body has already starting to swell and things of that nature. Snug and fit clothing to allow you to walk without obstruction and briskly. I always encourage you to wear something that may be form fitting as much as possible. You don't want so much clothing just kind of moving all about. Something that can whisk away the sweat, something that's not too cumbersome for you when you are something not too cumbersome for you when you are exercising. A small towel to wipe your sweat, a water bottle to stay hydrated. And hydration is really important, very important. You also want to make sure that you have a fitness tracker either on your phone, watch, or on a treadmill. An example of one that I can present to you is I use Samsung Health to help track my fitness activities. So an example of a fitness tracker would be, this is my Samsung Health, and So excuse that. That's 45 minutes that I just got through doing. But Samsung Health is just another way that I tend to track my activities. You don't have to use Samsung Health. I also use Nike Run Club. That's another app that comes through that helps track your activities. You can use I go to Planet Fitness, and Planet Fitness has their own app that you can use. So I would always encourage you just to keep up with your walking. Using a fitness app is a great way of utilizing, a great way to track your walking, or you can just use the one that they have when you're walking at the gym. But if you're not at the gym, you want to find another way. I also have one that's on my phone that I use that could also be very helpful for you when you are walking. Water, just make sure that you stay hydrated. Drink as frequently as you can while you're walking, before you're walking, and after you're walking. That would be very helpful. One of lastly, one of the tips that I would like to give to you to remain successful on your walking journey is decide where you're going to walk. If you're going to walk downtown on a route, let's say down in Wilmington, we have the riverfront. You can walk there. If you choose to go to a park and walk the route that they have there, you choose to walk in your community, around your home. It's a specific area that you feel comfortable, or at a particular gym. Find somewhere that you are at peace, that brings you peace, that you can comfortably walk and be safe while you are walking. I would also encourage you to set time. Be If you can be consistent about the time that you go walking, set a time and say, I'm going to go walk first thing in the morning, or I'm going to go walk in the afternoon, or I'm going to walk in the afternoon, or in the evening. Set that time and be intentional about going to do that if that works for you. For me, I don't always have the option to set a time, but I just make sure that I get it done throughout that day. One of my friends said to me, just think of it like your daily bread. Every day you have to have something to eat, you have to go walking. So it's your daily bread. So that's something that could help you in terms of your walking. And so, lastly, I would just encourage you, no matter what you do, how you go about, where you're going to walk, I would also say just commit to yourself. Commit that you're going to walk 30 minutes a day for a minimum at least 3 days a week. And as you are walking, it will increase it in 5 minutes, in minutes of increments of 5 minutes. So so if you start at 30 minutes, so for the first 3 days, do 30 minutes. After that, do the next 3 days and add another 5 minutes on it. The next 3 days, add another 5 minutes on it, until you can get yourself up to build where you are at least an hour of consistent walking. And I promise you, you'll see a major difference. Listening to your favorite music, podcast, or book. This helps you take your mind off the focus of walking in itself. Because when you first start to walking, you realize how out of shape you are. You can be very winded, you can get very tired, and you will want to quit. There's no doubt about that. But just find something to get your mind off of that. If you're in the gym and it has a television, turn the television on, focus on what that is doing, cover up the time. Don't let yourself get focused on the time that you are walking. Just keep going, and don't allow those things to distract you. If you can, invite a friend. Invite a friend who would like to walk with you, join a walking group locally or even online. Find one that will help you, that's going to help you be accountable for you walking. If your friend doesn't go, do not let that detour you from going to walk. Keep walking, be consistent no matter what. And in conclusion, I just want to say walking is impactful to the battle of the buds. It increases your fitness strength. If a person remains committed and consistent in their walking, many times they state that that is the reason why that they do not lose weight, is because they're not committed and consistent in going to walk. However, if you remain committed and consistent, you will see a major difference in what you're doing. Be a good steward of your time. and be a good steward of your body. Remember that you only have one life, one body, and it is up to us and how we choose to take care of it. So with that, I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for the opportunity to share with you reasons why I believe that walking is beneficial to you for at least 30 minutes a day. And I celebrate you on your journey and support you, and hopefully, this will be an inspiration to encourage you or even to pick up the activity of walking. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk with you soon.